We continue to make clear that we are committed to the defense of Israel. That is a position that is not going to change.
Of journalists that have been killed and medical workers over and over again, despite the conflict being complicated. The question is to send more weapons or not to send more weapons. There's no notion of conditioning weapons on just completing investigations, respecting human rights, let alone stopping illegal settlements or the occupation. Why is that the case?
We continue to make clear that we are committed to the defense of Israel. That is a position that is not going to change.
A UK-based research group concluded Israeli tank likely killed 6-year-old Palestinian child, Hind Rajab. And it's not plausible that Israeli tank couldn't see children inside the car. Have you seen the reports, and do you have any updates on the investigation? It's been more than 4 months, and a lot of my colleagues have been asking about that.
So we have seen the reports, and I will tell you what our latest interaction with the government of Israel is about this. So we went to the government of Israel and pressed them for information, and they told us that there were no IDF tanks operating in the area, no IDF forces operating in the area at the time of that attack, which I believe is something they've also said publicly.
Our colleagues at Sky News said it's, quote, undeniable that they were, affirming a string of reporting that we've seen saying as much. The IDF then disputed that report and also said there's no misconduct investigation into that incident. So what's going on here? You know, it's nearly been 9 months of the U.S. saying it's waiting for Israel to investigate itself. At one point, Israel even reportedly lying.
After further reporting, we went back to them and pressed them again. And so what they told us is that they went to the UN organizations, they went to the Palestinian Red Crescent, they asked for information.
So you're saying... So, Mr. Lerner, you're saying that IDF forces were not in the area at the time. That is despite satellite imagery conducted by Planet. I'm just going to pull it up on our screen, which does show IDF forces, the presence of IDF forces in the area on the day of this incident.
Because you've seen all of those organizations quoted in stories. They asked for information that they could use to further an investigation, and no one provided them with any information.
What I'm saying is the imagery that I have just pulled up on our screen, it was done by Planet. Planet is a well-respected satellite imagery company. Are you disputing what they have pulled up here?
I don't know when these images, when they were taken. I can't confirm that.
And then the Red Crescent, they claim that Israeli forces never reached out to them on the investigation.
Correct. Doing it with this one where they've said...
From our initial investigation, we did not find that on that day there were forces in that area, that there was any ability to conduct this alleged attack against the vehicle.
And I know the Red Crescent has said something different. We're not in a position to ultimately adjudicate which bit of information is accurate and which is not. I can tell you what we are doing on behalf of the United States government, which is conducting our own assessments of a variety of incidents that raise questions about violations of international humanitarian law, and those assessments are ongoing.
Is this one of them?
I'm not going to speak to individual assessments. I've always made clear that's not something I'm going to do. There are a number of incidents that are under review and continue to be under review.
But all to say, this has been nearly 9 months of this. This case is, of course, just illustrative of tens of thousands of kids killed. So how exactly is the U.S. approaching this if, on this case, 9 months later, Israel is now saying there's no investigation into this incident? And how can the U.S. keep unconditionally sending more weapons if this is how Israel is dealing with investigations of potential violations?
We continue to make clear that we are committed to the defense of Israel. That is a position that is not going to change.